If you're planning on using music in your podcast, you have to be careful with the music that you choose. Let's talk about how not to get sued and how you can find safe music to use for your show. The most common place that podcasters use music is their intro, segment changes, and outro. Intro music helps set the mood and invites your listeners into the podcast. Plus, if you find something catchy, your podcast jingle will become a brand signifier. If you want to hear some examples of good podcast intro music, check out The Daily,
New York Times. I'm Michael Barbaro. This is A Daily.
and Oprah's Super Soul.
I'm Oprah Winfrey. Welcome to Super Soul Conversations.
Segment change music helps your listeners by structuring the podcast, creating transitions in between different parts of the episode. Outro music maintains continuity between the bulk of your episode and your concluding statement, and makes the whole episode sound more polished. Now, you've spent so much time creating your podcast episode, the last thing that you want is for it to get taken down. You need permission to play music on your podcast. Copyright is the exclusive legal right to use an original work in any type of way. If music is copyright protected, you need to pay for a license to be able to use it. For example, you can't use Lizzo's hit single in your podcast episode because it's her property and you have to pay her to use it. However, there is a way to get around this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Copyright-free music means that there's nobody that has exclusive legal rights to the track. This is rare to see because most tracks will have some sort of copyright. You may hear the terms copyright-free music and royalty-free music being used interchangeably, but they are two different things. Royalties is the amount of money that an artist gets paid every time that their original track is used. If a track is royalty-free, it means that the artist doesn't need to get paid every time the track is played. These licenses are the most common and affordable because you either pay for a track once or you pay for a subscription to a database full of royalty-free music. Creative Commons is a company that works to facilitate the copyright process with creators and provide the public with access to their work. This is known as a Creative Commons license and helps creators easily define how other people can use their content. You can use most Creative Commons content without permission as long as you credit the artist. But under the umbrella of Creative Commons, there are a bunch of different licenses. So make sure to check exactly what you can and can't do with any given track. Something to look out for is if the artist has stipulated a no derivatives work license. This means that you can't manipulate, change, or transform the track in any way, which is important to know if you need to cut or fade the track in order to fit the timing of your episode. Many independent artists would be thrilled to work with a cool podcast and allow them to use their work in exchange for exposure. If you have a friend who is a musician, see if they'll let you use one of their tracks as your intro music bed or throughout your episode. In exchange, you can link the song in the show notes to help them get more streams, you can give them regular shoutouts on social media, and you can help them promote their upcoming releases and shows through your podcasting channels. As I mentioned earlier, there is a way to get around the copyright protection for popular tracks. Because the podcast hosting site Anchor is a product of Spotify, you can actually use any tracks from Spotify throughout your recording. What's cool about this is if you use a track, it counts as a stream for the artist, so it benefits both you and the original artist. There are some limitations with this, though. You have to use the full-length song and you can't talk over it, so this is best for music and talk episodes. There are tons of websites that provide royalty-free music to creators to use in their projects. Let's go over our top 3 favorite ones. Audio Jungle has a huge range of music. Music and audio tracks start at just $1. Something to note about Audio Jungle is that the license permits you to only use the song once. So if you use it in every episode, your bill will rack up. This is the website that we use for these videos. For just $9.99 a month, you can access tons of royalty-free music. You can filter tracks by mood, theme, genre, and instrument. Something to note is that the $9.99 a month version only allows you to use the music that you download on one channel. So one podcast, one social media channel, or one YouTube channel. But you can upgrade to $16.60 a month for use on unlimited social channels. Epidemic Sounds includes all rights in your monthly subscription, so you never have to worry about usage rights. With your subscription, you can download as many sounds as you want. A personal subscription starts at $15 a month, but has the same limitations as Artlist.io, allowing you to only use the sounds on one channel. You also have the option to purchase a single sound. If you're not up to paying for music use, then here are some of the best free websites to use. We've linked them all in the description. Now it's time to go pick those tunes to enhance your show. Remember to take into account the mood and the vibe of your show, as well as the brand and the personality of your podcast. If you learned something new, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And before you go, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you never miss another video from the Riverside YouTube channel.